Ahoy ahoy crew. Today we're going over my Excel calculator for calculating damage, cast delay, HP, all that stuff. Um, some people ask about it and how to use it because it's all written in Excel and not everyone understands that, which is why we're making this video. A quick note before I get into anything. If you want to calculate out an entire full build and you haven't really started on it yet, my calculator does pretty well at that. You also get the variable cast time, fixed cast time, your HP amount, your critical chance, hit chance, DPS, SP per second. You can calculate all that, and it's nice to set up a build. If you want to compare just two pieces of gear for your build on what to get next, if you need a temporal Agimantu or a illusion engine wing, I suggest using Muzz calculator because it's more convenient to use. You can import your battle stats very quickly. I'll show the calculator. This calculator here, you can just import your battle stats, get answers really quickly. Mine and Muzz calculator are relatively the same. There's, I think, different orderings or some small minor details in the background of how the actual formulas are laid out. But they both give the same results in the end. There's nothing that will be drastically changing between them. So, the main purpose is calculating damage. We'll start by going through this section right here. I can scroll through. This is the core of the calculator. So in stats, you choose your class, the class you're using. You also need to choose your class because it affects your base attack speed and your HP amounts. So that's all related to choosing your class. Next, enter base level, job level, all of your base stats, and then the next column's for your bonus stats. There's a few skills in the game that call to your base stats and look at what those are, which is why there's a section for bonus as well. Advanced stats, these are part of the fourth jobs. We don't have these yet. It's there for future implementation. Weapon attack, you enter your weapon type. There's a drop-down list you can choose from. Base weapon attack, which is the attack written on your weapon. Weapon level, weapon refine. Bonus weapon attack, this is from Pyroclastic. This is from Shadow Gear weapon refinements. This is not used that often, but you'll find it every now and then. You can put your offhand weapon stuff. There's nothing for shields at the moment. I haven't implemented anything outside of GX skills. Extra attack. This is where you put equipment attack. So equip attack is illusion armor. You get 100 attack from it. Consumable attack doesn't technically exist on NovaRO. There's some bugs or misinformation about that, so it's just there for being there. Mastery attack down here is also inactive. This is because I'm making it so mastery attack is automatically applied if you have the correct weapon equipped and the correct skill level. There's status attack, which comes from consumables like Jin limited power booster. Arrow attack, cannonball attack. Buff attack comes from skills like cart boost, or basically self-buffing skills that also give you a little bit of attack bonus. Pseudo attack comes from special effects such as ice pick. These ones, or pseudo attack, buff attack, are ones you might have to ask people oh, what kind of attack is this? Because it's not always straightforward. Then there's the weapon magic attack. Currently, there's no actual magic skills implemented. I'm still working on those. But there's base magic attack, bonus magic attack, which is the same thing as the weapon attack from the Shadow Gear Refine and Pyroclastic. Weapon level and weapon refine. Equip magic attack has buff, pseudo, consumable magic attack, equipment magic attack. Bonus magic attack is just a random leftover. If you click on any of the cells, or most of the cells, there'll be a little window that comes up, and it gives you a quick description of what the cell is for. So if you click on buff attack, it says any attack bonus from skill buffs. Cart boost plus 50 attack is an example. We can scroll up to the modifiers. We get race percent, size, target property, monster attack percent, boss percent, and Qatar mastery percent. Qatar mastery percent is inactive. Oh, I can't write anything in there. This is automatically added if you have a Qatar equipped. The rest is you just enter your percent. So if you have 50% race, just enter 50. It automatically calculates it. Damage modifiers, which is ranged, melee, critical damage, damage modifier percent, which comes from special skills like Falcon Eyes, Power Thrust, Frenzy, Heat Barrel. It's all listed right here. Final damage modifier, this is like Dark Claw. It goes on the very end. Healing modifiers, I don't have these implemented yet. We just have GX. That's for the future. Special effects, which is where special effects will go. You basically turn most of these just on or off. So if you have an ice pick, turn it on. If you have no size penalty, turn it on. If you have a Peko Peko or Griffin, just turn it on or off. And then there's the magic attack modifiers. Magic attack race size property has to be entered separately from the normal attack ones, because they're applied to different formulas in the background. Various effects, this is where you put your variable cast time percent, fixed cast percent, flat fixed cast time reduction, after cast delay, critical rate, cooldown reduction, hit rate, hit percent, which is just from Well-Tuned Pencil, flee, SP cost increase, SP flat increase, and then the decreases as well. And then the attack enemy info, which is another important area. This is your attack property. For magic skills in the future, you'll also need to enter this because it's not going to be automatically calculated. So if you do attack property, if you use a firebolt, you need to either type in firebolt or use the drop-down list and click fire. That way it actually considers your attack to be fire. Otherwise, they'll just say it's neutral still. And then you can enter the enemies. We'll say Earth. If we look on the right here, our damage will increase. Monster size, large, medium, small. Property, 1 to 4. Normal and boss. It's for normal and boss monsters. There's also some important stats from monsters you need to add in. Base level, vitality, int, and defense, magic defense are the most important. These all decrease damage you deal. Vit, int, base level, those are all flat amounts, so they can probably be ignored at higher damage because it's such a low number. Magic defense, always include those. Those impact you heavily. Luck is something you need to include monster luck if you're calculating your critical chance. Same with the flee of the monster. The agi doesn't count to the flee. The flees automatically calculates the agi of monsters. So you just take the flee from battle stats. We have enemy below 50% because some skills scale off of that. You enter the flee. You can also enter agi up, which doubles the flee amount. The broken MVP skill. We scroll down. Reductions. These aren't really used in PVM. I don't like, because we aren't reducing our damage with reductions. So these can mostly just be ignored. Range percent is something that is going to be included eventually. I don't have it yet. Maybe final damage as well. Defense and magic defense are down here. You can enter your percent of pierce, and it'll remove or subtract it from your defense reduction. Same with magic defense pierce. If it says 1, that means you have 100% of your damage. 0.89 is basically you have 89.6% of your total damage left over. HP SP, enter the flat amount as you can enter flat amounts, SP percent amounts, HP percent amounts. You can change from transcendent to non-transcendent. Make sure you have it non-transcendent if your class doesn't transcend, otherwise it'll still calculate the bonus. HP SP also only works at level 200. Because the base amount changes per level, and it would take an incredibly long time to log every single level all the way up to 200. It's just for 200. In the future, I might add like 175 maybe, but for now it's just 200. Not gonna change any of that for now. Attack speed calculator, you can enter your percent, your attack speed potion of concentration, awakening, berserk, flat attack speed, Cellarmine juice, which is actually just 10% attack speed, but I have it as a separate option because it might get confusing. And then the final area on the right side is where all the calculations happen. So, skill name, in this purple box, this is the skill you're using. So if we're using, let's say, rolling cutter, type in rolling cutter, bam. It gives us all of our damage for rolling cutter. There is a problem, I can't make a drop-down list for this, because eventually it's going to have most or all the skills, so a drop-down list wouldn't work well, because you'd have to scroll down hundreds of skills and things would get lost. But anything in this list down here where you'll find calculations, or base calculations in that, you can use any of these skills, which will also be listed on this side, which is down from the main calculator. This is where all skills will be held. So rolling cutter right here, we have 25% skill mod. You can change that depending on what you have. Skill level, you can change that between its max and minimum. Final modifier shows you the final percent modifier. So rolling cutter says 450 in the skill description, but it says 900 here. That's because at level 200, basically your skill damage is doubled if your skill scales on HP. So it actually is 900%. Enchant Deadly Poison, we can turn this, say yes to turn it on or off. Qatar Mastery is automatic, so this is grayed out. Things with grayed out stuff are going to be automatic or not needed for that calculation. Dark Claw, we can say yes or no to turn it on or off. Venom Impress, same thing. Sonic Acceleration, if we have the skill or not. Pyrexia, that bonus is inactive at the moment, because I put that there for auto attack stuff, and that's all buggy. New Poison, yes or no. This is also inactive, I believe. 21,000. No, this is not in. This does work. This will give you your 5% melee damage for using a new poison. Spin counters. Other classes will all have the exact same layout. Your main skills will be on the right side, and then other extra effects, like buffs and such, will go on the other skills. Back up to the calculation area. After we choose our skill, for single cast, for each cast we do, it tells us how much damage we'll do with a critical, maximum, and average. As well as our cooldown, our cast delay, variable cast time, fixed cast time, SP cost, and then our hit and critical chances. And then per second is our critical damage per second, our max damage per second, and our average damage per second. Keep in mind these aren't 100% accurate. They're like, I'd say overall, if I include everything I have so far, it's more like 99.5, because some calculations are a little bit off than others. And you also have SP cost per second, which can be pretty useful. It shows you your end critical rate, which is roughly on your status window. Same with your hit rate. And then over here we have the time to kill. So I have 300 million HP entered. That's for Lambda. And it calculates based on your per second damage. So it says we'll take, on our average rolling cutter damage at this build of like almost nothing, it'll take 3,240 seconds to kill Lambda. Not including healing and special mechanics. Just based off the per second damage. What else is there? The compare table, this is kind of not too great, but it's all I have. So if we do, let's say average, we do 18,515. Let's say we did another build before and we logged the amount, or actually a better example, 18,515. This is our current amount, right? It's 0% difference from this number. If we go over here and we add 999 strength, and we come back over here, This number in this box that we logged is 83% less than the new number we have, meaning our new number is better. This says increase, it means this number we had before was better. There's auto attack damage, which is kind of buggy overall. Offhand says buggy because it's actually wrong a lot of the time. The main hand is also quite often wrong. Something with the calculation is different compared to skill stuff, so it's going to be wrong for now until I figure out how that actually works. What else is there? There's a bunch of random numbers. That's just my calculations on the side. We just have GX skills at the moment. So this table down here is the base amounts. It's all the stuff we used for calculations. So these are all the damage numbers that are called by the calculation table. But if we look at cooldown, this is where I write down the cooldown. Some of them are based on skill level, so you have like calculations for them. We also have... also these haven't been fixed as well. Some of these have been updated and I haven't changed them yet. But like Cross Impact has the new cooldown already. The cast delay for the skill, variable cast time, fixed cast time, SP cost per level, the critical chance, and the hit chance of the skill. Since some skills like Sonic Blow have increased hit. And I believe that's everything for the damage calculator. There's also a section called More Calculators where I'm working on implementing other things like pet taming chance. There'll be like individual or like after cast delay, attack speed, variable cast time. There'll be those calculators as well that are not attached to the damage calculator. And they'll just be like enter your stuff, easy, done. There's also mod, damage formulas, extra table, size penalty, elemental table, HPSP. This is like all of the background values or calculations are done. They're open to look at if you want. It doesn't, like, if you want to, maybe look at how I calculate stuff, you can use it. That's about it on that. And I'll keep updating this calculator, hopefully getting all of the classes involved, get like everything in there, so that anyone can calculate their damage with whatever build they want. Even non-meta skills like Sonic Blow I have in there, Venom Splasher, Meteor Assault. These aren't meta skills, but they're still included because they're relevant for memes, I guess. Some lower end skills like End Venom aren't included because it's frankly irrelevant. Stuff like Firebolt, Lightning Bolt, I'll include those because there's actual support for them. But that's everything. I may do another one of these in the future if I update the calculator, or like drastically. If you have any questions, you can PM me on Discord or in my Discord. You can also ask me. If you want to find the calculator, I'll have a link to my Discord. You scroll down to damage calculator, and it'll be somewhere in the recent chat. Right now it's 1.04. Changes will happen soon to make it a new version. I'm working on adding Shadow Chaser next. I'll probably add some images as well, so if you scroll down this list, you can see your class easier. But I think that is everything. So, I guess if you enjoyed the video or you like the calculator, subscribe,